There was no driving on my part.
That's the only responsible
Eric
part he did.
threw together some cocktails, an old-fashioned, and I don't remember what the other drink was. But anyways, it was one of those nights. So I had a great time. They do great drinks there. They got great steaks. They got great food. It's a great atmosphere. You can call them at 810-227-6000.
It's a destination.
It is a destination restaurant. It's just out Brighton Road. You go downtown Brighton and go west, and it's out by the golf course, Oak, whatever it's called. Anyways, you can't miss it. It's out there. 810-227-6000, or you can go to burrows-roadhouse.com. They normally have some music, and comedy will start out later in the fall, but a great place. So give them a call, 810-227-6000. Tell them you heard it here, and go out and have some drinks and dinner. Great place. Okay, I wanted to get to Al Gore, right? If we're going to do the hypocrite file today, we got to put Al Gore right at the top of the list because his movie came out, the secondary sequel to whatever.
An inconvenient sequel. And it is inconvenient.
It's inconvenient for me to have to even think about it, let alone anything else. And this moron, Al Gore, thank God we never got him as president. Can you imagine?
One chat away, man. One chat away.
Oh, my gosh. So, Derek, we're going to go with track 4 because the story that I wanted to get to, and I wanted to do this last week at his opening, when it didn't open well, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But Al Gore uses 3% of his Nashville home is actually green energy. So this is a guy that uses like 20 times more average electricity from his homes, multiple homes, than the average household does, right?
Oh, he just bought seafront, a huge villa on the ocean.
Yeah.
It's going to rise and wipe out his property values in 10 years.
You're stealing my thunder.
I'm
Why
sorry.
do you do that?
I'll go away.
Okay, so Derek, play track 4 for us if you got it ready.
A lot of serious damage has been done. Greenland, for example, is losing 1 cubic kilometer of ice every single day. I went down to Miami and saw fish from the ocean swimming in the streets on a sunny day. The same thing was true in Honolulu just 2 days ago, just from high tides because of the sea level rise now.
All right, so that happened in Louisiana just a few days ago. There were fish in the streets. Had nothing to do with climate change whatsoever.
It's mind-boggling that this man, and a lot of people don't know the Gore history. Right? His dad was a former senator too, but very wealthy. You know where Al Gore's family got their money from? Right?
I almost gave it away. Sorry. Yeah, I do.
Coal, right?
Tobacco?
Weren't they the coal? No, they were coal.
Tobacco?
I'm thinking it was coal.
Okay, you're the boss.
Well, I'm just saying. Anyways, he may have done tobacco as well, but they also did a lot of coal. So he was involved in that. And now getting your money back from
coal?
No.
Climate change.
Climate change.
Tobacco?
What am I going to do with you? So it's just amazing that this guy can get out there and lie publicly.
You know who else was big, who made his huge money out of coal was Tom Steyer.
Yes.
Tom Steyer, big environmentalist. Huge billions out of coal, and he still got money in coal.
Yeah. Well, they screwed us all polluting, and now they want to try and screw us all by taking back polluting or whatever they want to do. But here's a guy that stood up to him. James Ooker Eskridge stood up at a town hall with Al Gore and said, hey, basically you're wrong. You got track 5 ready, Derek? Let's go with this one.
President Gore, Mr. Cooper, I'm a commercial crabber, and I've been working in the Chesapeake Bay for 50-plus years. And I have a crab house business out on the water. And the water level is the same as it was when the place was built in 1970. I'm not a scientist, but I'm a keen observer. And if sea level rise is occurring, why am I not seeing signs of it? I mean, our island is disappearing, but it's because of erosion and not sea level rise. And unless we get a seawall, we will lose our island. But
okay, so stood up to him, and Al Gore had this fancy answer. Well, it's erosion, and erosion's coming from water that's rising. And the guy's like, it's not rising, man. I just told you, I've been here for 50 years. It hasn't risen.
Who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? Yeah.
I'm so glad that I think people have actually gotten smart, and that's why his second movie here kind of flopped as it came out.
When
Truth
I went to
power.
see
Isn't that what he call it?
Yes.
How hypocritical is that? Lies to power is more like it, Mr. Gore.
When I went to see Dunkirk, and I went to see Wonder Woman, both times they had the trailer for Inconvenient Sequel.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed that the derision that I was throwing at Al Gore on the screen was not echoed by my fellow moviegoers. It was quite an impressive trailer. It looked very, very persuading. Yeah. And thank God it only did like 19 last week, and it moved up a little bit. But really, it didn't pass reruns of Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
so,
here's what will bother me, because now every elementary school, junior high, and high school is going to take this movie and show it to your kids and brainwash them like they did with the last one. And that's why we have so many of these snowflakes today in college who are crying, oh, the polar bear. The polar bear population's up. Sorry, that's a lie. The ice in Antarctica is up. I'm sorry. So you can't keep lying to us about all these things.
Yep.
You know, that's what's amazing. I had a great article ready last week for this, and I just couldn't find it after today. But I wanted to go one more thing that people seem to is a big hot button that people say false, false, false. It's voter fraud, right? So, Derek, we're going to go back to track one. Can you pull that one up for us? And this college student in Virginia was caught registering dead people for the Democrats, right? And so this voter fraud thing is as real as it can possibly get, and people don't understand it. And you've got certain states that are now telling the federal government, because we've put together a task force, right? And some states, like California and New York, are kind of balking.
They refuse
at giving the information to them. And why? Because they know doggone well there's voter fraud going on.
They're claiming states' rights, but it's really hiding their fraud.
Right. And people, you need to understand that we had it right here in Michigan. I mean, even during the recount that what's-her-face forced us into.
Oh, yeah.
There were some ballots down here in Detroit.
Wayne County
that had more ballots in it
than
was stated on the box. So somebody was obviously stuffing the ballots in these precincts. And so they're like, oh, we'll just take us out of the count.
And I'd like to know why our Republican Secretary of State is not dealing with that.
How about Schuette?
Don't understand. Well, there you go, too.
How about Schuette?
Attorney General.
Here's a guy that's going to say he's running for governor, and yet it doesn't have the guts to force and enforce the laws down in Detroit for voters, and voter fraud. Get down there and do what you're supposed to do. Don't worry about it, there. We're almost out of time anyways at this point.
Well, we don't want to provoke another riot in Detroit by doing that. Jeez.
Charlottesville, shall we talk?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you heard it on the news. So the crazy Ku Klux Klan, and of course they want to throw the alt-right in with the Ku Klux Klan. Come on. Number one, it's
the
not.
Democrat Ku Klux Klan?
Yes.
You
Want
to get rid of the vestiges? You want to get rid of the vestiges of slavery in America? Get rid of the party that was pro-slavery, the Democratic Party.
The Democratic Party. That's exactly right. Well, until next week, go to thedailydrift.com. It's
the news you need to know.
See, you hit that one right on the money. All right, Derek, thank you again for a good show, and we'll see you all next week. Take care.